Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrade.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody had a great Sunday. Hopefully for all you guys who watched the video last night, again, trading is like life. The more times we see a scenario, the more times you are prepared for a scenario and you're not caught between a rock and a hard place, especially having your pants below your ankles. That's what life is. It's a repetition of things. You try to omit the bad stuff, you accept the good stuff, and you kind of move on. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. All I ask is if you like the content, if we are helping you out on a day-to-day basis, click that like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, again, I will continue to do my best to point you in the right direction. So last week, we had a 2% decline in the NASDAQ. We lost some pretty healthy technical levels, and this was the lowest close in this whole formation going all the way back to June the 9th. And, we talk about not repeating the same mistakes. And if you guys watch the weekend video, and this isn't the first time we talked about it, guys, just always remember this lesson. Just write this down so you don't make this mistake over and over again in your career. Number one, what do we know, right? We trade on data. We don't trade on opinion. Again, if you think I know exactly where the stock market's going on a day-to-day basis, you're out of your mind, right? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine, but I try to rely on the data to give me clues to kind of how to game plan for the next day. So what do we know going into today, right? We knew that lowest close since June the 9th, right? Check. We know that we are almost 2 weeks below the 50-day moving average, right? What is that? That's bearish. Check. Okay. We know so far we've had very, very poor reaction to earnings, despite how good some of the quarters were. IBM, Netflix, Tesla, Intel, right? Intel. Again, what do we know, right? Poor reaction to earnings. These are all sour sentiment things that we can use to our advantage to trading that side of the market. Check. But the most important part is, folks, again, for the 2,898th time, under no circumstances, right? And we talked about this in last night's video. Under no circumstances do you buy a gap up, okay? Do you buy a gap up, especially on regurgitating news? We heard this deal imminent. They want to make a deal. We want to make a deal. Ceasefire. Everything is great. Everything is lovely. You're allowed to go buy stocks. Everything is wonderful. Under no circumstances do you buy a gap up after major technical damage has confirmed, and all you're doing, okay, is buying back stocks into supply. That's all you're doing. Again, all you have to do is just watch last night's video, and we knew that the market was going to get some sort of boost in the futures market because, again, that headline came out. I didn't know how big the boost was. You didn't know how big the boost was. But when you woke up this morning, okay, we saw nearly a 1.5% rise in the NASDAQ 100. The Qs were absolutely flying. Everything was flying. Guess what happened, right? Can you guess what happened? Everything hit supply. Now, I don't care what stock it was. Everything hits supply at one point or another. Again, was there a divergence in the market? We'll get to that in a second. But look at the Qs. Look what happened with the Qs. They hit supply, 60-minute supply. The market got absolutely destroyed. You could go with stock by stock by stock. AMD, look, right? Look, what did it do pre-market? It hit supply, destroyed. Micron was up 30. What did it do? Right? Hit supply, destroyed. SanDisk was up 50, 60 points. What did it do? It hit supply, destroyed. Amazon, right? Amazon was up, right? This is a bad tick. Amazon was up. What happened? Went red in the day. NVIDIA was up 3. What happened? Hit supply, destroyed. Folks, Tesla. Remember my game plan on Tesla? Tesla cannot gap up and go. Too much technical damage. What happened with Tesla? It gapped up 3 points. The stock got destroyed, right? Absolutely destroyed. So our game plan is only as good as the data. Our game plan is only as good as collecting facts in the past so we don't make that mistake over and over again. And if you watched the video last night and you rolled your eyes and you woke up this morning and said, the market's strong, not so much, right? Was there a divergence in the market that we saw some significant strength in other areas? Absolutely, but that's not anything new. We've been seeing divergence from the mega cap names, from the Magnificent Seven, every single time these semiconductors are weak. For some reason, there's a bid, there's a flight to safety for that day. We saw today really good strength on the software stocks, Microsoft, right? Microsoft, CRM, Adobe, it didn't make a difference which one it was. We saw some really great strength, NOW, right? But here's the problem. These stocks suck, right? These stocks suck. They have one good day and then they roll over and die for the next 2 weeks. This is literally, it's been happening for the last 2-3 weeks. So can you turn around today and say, going to tomorrow's session, oh, I am so pumped. Microsoft's going to follow through. NOW is going to follow through. CRM is going to follow through. Well, show me on the chart in the last month that has happened. Maybe it will happen tomorrow, but the point is you can't go into tomorrow, especially when all these stocks are under daily supply, right? Daily supply, and say this is where the money flow is going to be. This is where people are going to start chasing stocks again. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But again, if you look at any of these software stocks, they've been the poster boy of one day wonders. Again, we will see if that changes today, right? It changes tomorrow. We also knew going into today's session, right? How many times did I've said, guys, 686 on the Qs, 682 on the Qs, 682 on the Qs. Guys, you do not want to lose 682 on the Qs. What happened on the Qs today? Qs lost 682. This thing, guys, this thing gave us a $6 candle. When was the last time you saw the Qs giving a $6 candle? Was a nice rebound off the lows? Absolutely. But the most important part, folks, if you just go into the market every single day, eyes wide shut and trying to hope the market that you want instead of the market you're going to have, you are going to be in a very, very tough predicament majority of your career if you are able to even extend your lifeline. So guys, technical analysis is real. Being aware of your environment is real. Understanding to read the room and the overall aspect of the market is the most important part, because again, it tells you what you need to know. And the most important part is, like I've been saying for absolute years, I don't care how great the market you think in your mind should be, chances are if it's underneath supply, you are going to continue commit the same mistakes over and over again until eventually you're just going to stop trading. So again, guys, the most important part, write this down, tattoo it on the back of your head, whatever the case may be. When you see technical damage, especially the previous night, and the market gaps up the next day, I don't care if it's Christ, Jehovah, or anybody else, right? Under no circumstances do you go long stock into strength, because all you are going to be doing is buying stock back into supply. And unfortunately, a lot of traders made that mistake this morning, yada, yada, yada. We had one of the greatest flushes in the morning that I can remember in a very, very long time. Congratulations for all you guys who caught that massive 904 pivot on Micron. We thought the stock could get into the 962 level, traded all the way down to 855. Tesla was awesome. I didn't quite get it off the rejection, but I got it off this intermediate channel right underneath a 311, traded all the way down to 304. I still believe in the game plan that if any day that Tesla is going to continuously to gap up, I will continue to look for shorts, just because, again, in my opinion, and I've been saying this for a while, it's very odd. It's very rare. Can it happen? Sure. But it's very rare that a stock that's been destroyed, right, has a gap up and go. It's usually a gap up, fade, wash out, hold the previous day's low, trap, and then go red to green. I still believe that Tesla will give us a day at some point this week of a nasty washout reversal, red to green. Probably we'll see a 10 to 15 point move one of these days. in this week, just because, again, nothing goes straight down, and eventually sellers do get frustrated, and most important, sellers do get tired. So again, I don't want to go into weakness on Tesla, but at any gap up, I will test levels to see if the stock can get rejected off those levels. So let's talk about some ideas going into tomorrow's session. I didn't like the fact that Amazon did not rally, did not rally with the rest of the mega cap, with the majority of the mega cap 7 level names. It's just building now. It's just continuing to build now below the 50 EMA. I want to watch this thing tomorrow. If this thing loses a 3-day channel, I think this thing could sell into the 228, 229 level. Again, the only curveball is make sure it's only a cash flow trade, just because they do report on Thursday. That's why, again, I don't really put a lot of stock into Microsoft, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft for bigger multiple day moves, just because there are going to be funds, traders, hedge funds, whatever the case would be, positioning for their earnings. So again, use them for cash flow vehicles. Same thing with Meta, right? Meta just looks awful, right? Again, I don't know what their earnings are going to be, right? But this is now day 3 below the 50-day moving average, just like Amazon. It did not participate in today's gap up. It didn't participate in today's rebound. It doesn't participate in today's rally off the bottom. It just looks terrible, right? It just absolutely looks terrible. Again, I don't know what's going to happen on earnings, but I will watch this thing, especially but both Amazon and Meta, if they gap up tomorrow, I will be looking at bottom channels for tomorrow's session. So let's keep an eye on that. I like this booking.com, man. This thing is getting tighter. This thing has been in a really, really nice range here. Guys, look at the chart here. A big, nice move today, up 9 points in the day. You're starting to get expanding volume. Check when their earnings are. But let's keep an eye on this thing. If this thing can just get back above this channel here, this thing could really wake up. So let's keep an eye on that. And guys, what is going on with NVIDIA? I get the whole semiconductor trade today, right? ASML reported some news. ASML fell on news. A Chinese state-backed company is developing certain chip-making devices, which could jeopardize its sales. Obviously, that was the catalyst to sell off the chip makers. But boy, oh boy, it just hasn't participated in any type of longer-term rally, especially with the chip makers. And today, this candle engulfed literally 2 weeks worth of buying. Not a great sign at all. It held the 150-day moving average. Let's keep an eye on this thing if there is more weakness for tomorrow's session. So again, guys, remember, experience in life, okay? Again, when you have a brand new baby, you're terrified. You don't know if you're going to be a good parent. By year 1, you're a better parent than year 0. By year 5, you're a better parent than year 1. By year 20, you're a better parent than year 10. That's exactly what trading is. So if you are making the same mistakes year 1, year 3, year 5, eventually by year 10, 12, you turn around and go, wait a minute, I've already seen this movie. I remember what happened last time there was a technical damage. I'm not going to buy the market into strength. I'm going to play it and wait to see if the other side gets confirmed. So it's very, very important to learn from your mistakes, omit them, change your mindset, and move along based on data and not the market that you're hoping to get. Guys, God bless everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And with God's help, I'll see you on the field tomorrow. Take care.